Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show.
Joining me is the Dallas Junior Chamber, all four ladies in the building. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Good morning.
And so I'm going to tease a little bit about the upcoming, we'll talk about entrepreneurship, because both Kylie and Kathleen with the Dallas Junior Chamber, I don't know how y'all juggle everything between the chamber and working and, all the different perspectives from corporate America to being an entrepreneur. And Kathleen is a single mom. And so I really commend both of you for how much you're doing for the Dallas Junior Chamber, and really excited to highlight what we have going on with the chamber for February. So, Kylie, if you'd like to start and give us a little bit of an overview.
Yeah, on taste.
Yeah, let's talk about, the Dallas Junior Chamber as a whole. For our listeners who don't know what the destination of young professionals is, the Dallas Junior Chamber
Okay,
that
absolutely.
I talk about all the time.
Yeah, right. I'm getting really good at this because I do it a couple hundred times every week for new members. So the Dallas Junior Chamber is actually the first junior chamber for the city of Dallas and the second oldest in the world. It started in 1918, so we're coming close to our centennial here in a couple of years. Very excited about that. We're actually forming the committees and stuff for that this year. So.
Wow, that's incredible. 100 years of history, and you will have to dedicate a whole segment about that. But they do have their own radio show called DJCC On Air, and you can contact the DJCC On Air and listen to their podcast on the Dallas Junior Chamber website, dallasjuniorchamber.com. So again, we'll talk about entrepreneurship in a little bit with Kathleen and Stephanie Jaco, who's also here. But let's talk about Taste. Taste is coming up, and it is a great wine tasting event on February 27th. So Stephanie, you want to tell us a little bit about why we're doing that event? And joining us also will be a awesome event that is kind of a one-off from the Taste event to the Beep event. So let's talk about both of those.
Yeah, so we're coming up on our first signature event of the year for the DJCC on February 27th. We will be doing our annual wine tasting event. We call it Taste. We are doing it at Craighead Green Gallery in the Design District here in Dallas. And what it is we basically have a whole bunch of young professionals and all sorts of people from around Dallas come and join us for a great night of wine tasting and hors d'oeuvres and networking. And this year, being that it's in an art gallery, we have a really great setting where we actually get to be in and among the art that is in the gallery. So that's really exciting for us. And what it is we raise money between the funds raised for the event itself and our silent auction and things like that we do at the event. We're raising money for AFB, the American Foundation for the Blind. So that's our charity that we are working towards for this particular event. And then what we do is roll over from there to go to our second signature event of the year, which is Beep, our Easter egg hunt for blind children, which I have a couple of people here who can speak to that a little more as well.
Yes, will you introduce her?
This is our wonderful chair, Heather.
Hi, everybody. So I'm the chair this year, and I was as well last year, of Beep, our Easter egg hunt for visually impaired children. It's a really wonderful event where the eggs actually beep. It's so cool to see these kids experience these things that a lot of times they would never get the opportunity to do. But it is going to be on March 19th from 10 to 12:30 at the Lake Highlands Family YMCA. We have some wonderful partners. We're working with AFB, American Foundation for the Blind, DARS, which is the Department of Assistive and Rehabilitative Services, and they help us spread the word to all their families and connections. The YMCA has offered up their wonderful venue for us where we get to have the egg hunt on the soccer fields. And we have a huge variety of activities day of for the kids, everything from a raffle, info booth, bounce houses, face painting, all sorts of fun events for the kids.
Fantastic. And I want to turn it over to our Executive Vice President, Kathleen, to tell us a little bit about why the Dallas Junior Chamber gets involved with these different events and a little bit more.
Well, BEEP is an absolutely heartwarming event. These children don't get an event that is often planned around them and just for their families. We ask that we have volunteers as opposed to bringing your child because it is specifically for those children. We've had the beeping eggs donated over the years, and the company that has built them has rebuilt them for us. And you just get a chance to actually get your hands in the community and do something for somebody else. These are tandem events. Taste is where you get to drink wine, be fancy, have some fantastic food from our caterer, Tejana Brothers Catering, and from Dallas Fine Wines, who is providing the 20 different wines from around the world. And there you get to do wonderful things, have a silent auction, go home with some great takeaways from Bijou, who is a pastry shop on McKinney. All of that pays for BEEP. All of that supports BEEP. They are tandem events. And when you're at BEEP, you're really doing something for the community, something for somebody else besides yourself.
Which is wonderful that we're doing that. And I want to talk a little bit about, we're doing that event with BEEP, rain or shine. Last year it started to rain a little bit, and the year before, and it's a spring event, so it's never really guaranteed that we'll have the great weather. But what's planned for this year? Will it be indoors?
Yeah, Lake Highlands has a fantastic facility. I know that's where I work out all the time. That's where my daughter goes for her summer camp. So we have plans. They have a fantastic field where everything will be set up. And if there is rain, we're just going to move it into the basketball court. So if you're planning on playing basketball at the Lake Highland Y that day, hope it's not raining because we're taking it over.
Which is so cool. And again, you can buy your tickets for Taste, which is on February 27th at djcctaste.com. And more information on BEEP is on the website with the Dallas Junior Chamber, which is dallasjuniorchamber.com. And so we're so excited about those two events. But let's talk a little bit more about the chamber and the destination for young professionals. And also, I know that we're looking for sponsors for the upcoming year. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Dallas Junior Chamber is a professional, young professional. So 21 to 41 is our age group to become a member. But kind of what we do, kind of give you a rundown of our calendar, is we have monthly happy hours, networking happy hours. We usually partner with bar restaurants in Dallas, usually in the uptown or downtown area, kind of keep it central for everybody. We have quarterly general membership meetings where we have, March 22nd is going to be our first one. We're having Darren Martin, who's an international business speaker, come and talk to our membership, along with we'll be handing out our membership pamphlets and their T-shirts and all of that at that meeting. So we're excited about that, excited about Darren. He's been fantastic. I'm sure some people have seen him popping up all through Dallas with his new book signings and such. And then we also have 4 events throughout the year. Taste is our first that Kathleen and Stephanie hit on. And then BEEP will be March 19th. And then we also have a Christmas in July event, the end of July, that is basically a party for our membership that benefits a charity. Generally, it's in years past, it's been Jonathan's Place. I think this year we may be looking at a new charity because we're actually partnering with the Blondes versus Brunettes group this year. So
tell me about what is Blondes versus Brunettes.
Blondes versus Brunettes is a powder puff game. That they have. They have about
like from
300.
High school?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
For adults? Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they have what, Kathleen, 300 members?
And there's like Team Blonde and Team Brunette?
And they have Team Blonde, Team Brunette, so they have pool parties. You'll have the Blondes pool party. You'll have the Brunettes pool party.
Stephanie, I think you're outnumbered. We're all blonde in here, and you're representing a brunette.
I feel really single.
Do you know their track record? Who's been winning the blonde
I think
team?
the Blondes win every year.
They have been dominating the brunettes. I'm sorry,
Fearless.
Jacob.
So
Yeah,
if you
this is
change your
Dallas,
hair
'cause
every
I
year, I
haven't-
wonder what that organization, do you have to go to the other team?
I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can be, a brunette on the blonde team. I think
We'll
you have to
them as a guest
commit.
sometime.
You have to
get a
commit
bottle
for
of
those 2
peroxide.
months. Yeah.
Who do they, the Dallas Junior Chamber is partnering with the Blondes versus Brunettes?
Blondes versus Brunettes for Christmas in July.
Okay. And
so
then what organization does Blondes versus Brunettes impact?
the
Or charity?
They raise money for Alzheimer's research.
That's right. I
Various
heard that.
charities, but all focused on Alzheimer's research.
Very cool. I love the city. I love how much giving back. And it was really cool. I mean, what did you guys think about the Human Impact Project?
I want to go out with them tomorrow.
I think
Right?
that's something that we need to get involved
I
with.
can't wait. The DJCC is really something that would want to partner with an organization like that, and we're always looking to get involved in new and upcoming charities and volunteer organizations. So just being in the same room as those two women has actually been super inspiring for us. So
Which is something that you're personally committed to with the Chamber, is finding those philanthropy opportunities for the members.
Absolutely. As the Vice President of Philanthropy, that is essentially my job, is to find all of those different opportunities around town and new ways for our membership to get involved and give back to the community in that way. So, like I said,
give us your email too for
sure.
listeners that want to reach out to you.
For anyone who wants to reach out to the DJCC and be part of our volunteer projects and give back with us, I can be reached directly at philanthropy@djcc.us.
Very good.
Yeah, no. And our final event throughout the year is actually the Dallas Junior Chamber has been giving out the Dallas Police Department's Rookie of the Year Award for what will be 64 years this coming November. It is our most formal event, and the police department has actually allowed us to choose their Rookie of the Year. It started out, it's called Johnny Sides, Dallas Rookie of the Year Award, because an officer, Johnny Sides, was actually killed in his rookie year, and he was also a chamber member. So when he passed away, the Dallas Junior Chamber got together with the DPD to form this event, and like I said, it'll be our 64th year that we've been doing it. So we have a pretty full schedule. We're always adding. We have philanthropy events. We have a membership free event that's coming up in May that's going to be awesome. And just, we have a board of about 13 people who literally, along with volunteers and their committees that they form, do all of this work completely on their own time. It's all volunteer. And people like Kathleen and Stephanie and Heather are the ones out there making sure this gets done and recruiting people and doing a great job. And like I said, they have their own lives, their own work that they do, and they excel at beyond what they do here.
Let's dive a little deeper because we have more time. Is each one of you and why you got involved with the Dallas Junior Chamber, and to encourage others too that want to give back to the community or get involved, whether that's professional development or maybe you are not a young professional but want to reach out to the Dallas Junior Chamber to assist, whether that's the professional development or sponsor a happy hour. The Dallas Junior Chamber's doors are always open for any opportunities. But let's start with Kathleen. Why did you get involved?
I got involved because I was really looking to actually network with business people. It was important to me moving back to the city after 10 years to find a new group of people. I fell in love with the things that the Dallas Junior Chamber does, and that's why I've been so passionate about it for the last several years, and why I've gone from being just a hanger-on to a member to a chair to a board member, and now I'm in senior leadership, and it's really taught me a lot within my own business life, and a lot of it has applied. And we certainly do love our alumni, because you look back at some of the board members and the presidents from 10 years ago, they're now extremely successful in their businesses. And a lot of that leadership comes from the skills that you learn as you're attempting to do something good for the city. And honestly, I love giving back to the community because I'm blessed. I'm from Dallas, and I love this city. I love to see it grow, and I love to do anything that I can to help it. So hence, I'm now the Executive Vice President of the Dallas Junior Chamber.
Which is fantastic. And Dallas is growing. Can you believe that?
Gigantic, insane.
I mean, who would have known Dallas? Stephanie, tell us how you got involved.
I have a little bit of a roundabout story of how I got involved. I was sitting on my couch one day and decided that I needed to get out and meet new people. And it was just a decision that I made as far as finding somebody online. And the first thing that popped up on my Google search for young professional groups in Dallas was the Dallas Junior Chamber of Commerce. So it made the most sense to go with that one, and I came out to a happy hour and never looked back after that. So it was really about meeting people for me.
Very good. And then we do have just one more minute, but Heather, how did you get involved?
Sure. My parents were actually members of the DJCC back
Really?
in Michigan when they were young.
Oh, cool.
And they started an Easter egg hunt. So when I came down to Dallas, I've only been down here for like 18 months. I wanted a chance to meet people. And when I found out that we also do an Easter egg hunt for visually impaired children, I had helped my family's Easter egg hunt from the time I was 3. So this was the perfect way for me to kind of continue that down in Dallas.
And do we have another minute, Kevin, or are we cutting time kind of short?
Yeah, you got about a minute.
Got
No
another
rush.
minute. And Kylie will be with us in the next segment. But how did you get involved?
I actually got involved. I was dating a guy and got invited to one of the happy hours, so came out because of him and got recruited for the volleyball team. And kind of where I was at in life is I went to Southern Methodist University on a track scholarship, and most of the track team was international. So when graduation came around, everybody went home. So all of my networking, all of my friends had kind of left the city, so it was kind of left a void. And got involved with the group, really liked what they were doing, and kind of the social friend network that, is very present there. And then I stuck around for all the right reasons.
They couldn't get rid of you.
You stay
now
long
you're the president.
enough, they will push you to be president.
All right, we're just about out of time, but don't go away. The Dallas Junior Chamber sticks around to talk about their perspective on entrepreneurship. Don't go away.
More of the Jeff Crilley Show coming up. You're listening to the Jeff Crilley Show on Talk Radio 1190.
Welcome back to the Jeff Crilley Show. This is Sarah Crilley stepping in for my dad, Jeff. Well, he's actually over at Fair Park at the Safe Conversations workshop, and that is safeconversations.org. It's a great workshop that really is a bridge from conflict to connections for families, and I think that's just so great. So I'm going to head down there in a couple hours. But anyways, welcome back. The Dallas Junior Chamber is with me. And okay, so this is an older study that I'm personally interested in to find out a little bit more about what the statistic is today in 2016. But this is kind of the lead into our segment. 66% of millennials want to start their own business. That's a huge number, but an obvious indication that the interest in entrepreneurship is on an incredible rise. And so that's why many of millennials are choosing entrepreneurship, and that's their career choice. So I have 2 of those millennials with me right here to share their story, Kathleen
Hello.
and Stephanie.
Hi there.
You both chose entrepreneurship. And can we share the age to our listeners? How old are each of you?
I am 33.
33,
I'm 26.
26, and you are your own boss. So let's start with Kathleen.
Yeah, well, I'm in the jewelry industry, and I worked for several different companies. One company for about 3.5 years. That was my best education. I bounced around from here to there, and I was the retail girl that stood in front of the counter and sold your boyfriend a diamond. And after several years of just not feeling fulfilled or empowered as an employee, I finally got to the point where I said enough is enough. I need to go out on my own, and things started rolling from there, and serendipity took its course, and I just got my keys to my office yesterday with all the security installed. So I'm
Yesterday, congratulations. Yes. And something that I can connect you with is on a single mom heart level. Mm-hmm. I mean, for you to go out on your own as an entrepreneur and a single mom, you have not just your mouth to feed, but your daughter, your beautiful daughter's mouth to feed. How was that decision of, not really having a guaranteed income every month?
Well, I had already kind of prepared myself financially for that impact, but the biggest thing is the fact that I was missing things for my daughter. I was missing soccer games. This past year was the first year I actually got to go to the Santa parade with my entire family, and I was taking pictures like crazy because I had never been before. So that was a big part of my decision, and I'll be honest with you, being able to take my daughter to ballet, bringing my computer and working and calling clients from ballet or piano or whatever, that's why I did it, because I want to live my life with my child as well as really feel fulfilled in my work life.
Wow, that's so awesome. And tell me a little bit more about, okay, so when did you go off on your own? How long has this journey been for you in entrepreneurship?
Well, I got my tax ID number over 1.5 years ago, but I didn't really actually start it until my, I guess you would say 4th position here in Dallas in that industry ended in September. And I had told them when they recruited me, and they were recruiting me very hard for several months, I told them what my parameters were. I told them what my wishes were as an employee and how I would like to be treated. They said yes, yes, yes. And then everything they had promised me didn't really come to fruition. And it had been enough times that I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't give up this much time of my child's life and seeing her grow up and not be treated the way I need to be treated. So I finally said, let's do it. And then somebody else in the industry offered to office with me, and I've already been fed clients, and it's just steamrolling. So it's fantastic.
And tell me about your company. What's your company called?
My company is a very creative name. It's Denooyer Designs, my last name. And essentially what I am is I have a few retail clients, and I sell jewelry to those retail clients, predominantly bridal, because, that's what the diamond industry is about. But I'm also working to promote myself as a vendor within the business as a computer-aided designer. That's what my master's is in, so that's really actually my specialty.
What is a computer-aided designer? That sounds so high-tech.
It's high-tech and it's broadly based. I'm actually a computer-aided designer that specializes in three-dimensional printing. 3D printing is all the rage, but inside the jewelry industry, what it is it prints waxes. So we custom design your ring, your earrings, your bracelet, whatever, and then we do it the traditional ways in order to put it into, the jewelry form, gold, diamonds, silver, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a very highly specialized field, and every time I tell somebody what I do, they cock their head to the side and they say, never met anybody like that, but it's true.
So you're printing jewelry.
Literally. Well, it's the wax for the jewelry. It's not gold. We can't do direct metal printing, and I'm not going to go off on a nerd tangent right there.
No, go off on a nerd tangent. So I saw one of those at the Perot Museum. They're like showing it's cutting the wax.
Yeah.
So is that essentially what it...
This one, you have to think of a dot matrix printer, except in 3 dimensions. So it prints at 16 microns thick, and it prints layer upon layer upon layer upon layer until you get a ring. And then we take that ring and use the traditional lost wax casting methods. And then a jeweler sits at a bench, which is what I have done in the past, and they put in the diamonds and make it all shiny.
So that's if you're wanting a piece of jewelry made, maybe that you lost, that no other store would have. What is kind of the purpose or the drive for some of your clients that you've seen?
A lot of times you have clients who lost a piece of jewelry that was a family piece of jewelry, and they don't want that, elderly family member to know that.
You can duplicate the piece.
Absolutely.
But it's upon their memory.
No, you can show me pictures. We can pull together elements. That's predominantly what's happening with the jewelry field now is we're going away from the big box stores. We're going away from the retail storefronts, which is how I started. And we're going into the more boutique. So you come into my office, you sit down, you can have coffee, you can have a snack, all that jazz. And we sit there, and I have brides that will bring me 10 pictures and say, I want that element, that element, that element, and that. And I'll advise them. I'm really their designer. So I advise them, this will work, this won't. And the beauty of computer-aided design in the jewelry field is that you get to see it in 1,000 different iterations before you actually put any money down. And I don't mean actually committing to the project. I mean, if you have to cast in gold and set diamonds and then it's not right, then you've wasted a lot of time, a lot of money, and it's a frustration that we can avoid now because we have computer-aided design.
That is so cool.
The best part is I can 3D print the ring and take the ring in wax, put the ring on the woman's finger, drop in the big stone, which is, of course, the most important thing of all.
Of course.
And she can say,
diamonds.
Yes, I love it, or no, we need to change this element, and we go back to the drawing board and do it over and over until she's satisfied. That way, when he puts it on her finger, it takes her breath away because it's exactly what she wants.
Wow. Kathleen with DenooyerDesigns.com. Congratulations. And now we're going to turn over to another entrepreneur, millennial, Stephanie Jaco.
Yes. Hello.
Tell us about your journey. Have you always been an entrepreneur?
I would like to say that about myself.
You've had that entrepreneur mindset.
Yes, I have. But I have not always worked for myself. So I think that's the difference. I've always wanted to work for myself or in a large way at a high level in my career. But I originally started where so many of us do. I started as essentially an assistant. I got my degree in theatrical management and technologies. And when I when I graduated from college, I started at a job here in Dallas as a production coordinator for the Dallas Theater Center.
Fun.
So yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. And lo and behold, I was actually using my degree,
That's
which was
really
fantastic.
Cool. Did you actually get to watch the plays?
Yeah, we actually, I mean, I got
you were
to,
working it.
I got to work on them a lot. And my favorite part of theater has always been the technical side of things, has always been the backstage goings on and who's doing what and running this light and who's touching that prop and all of that. So that was really what I wanted to be doing. And getting to work for the Dallas Theater Center, I was getting to touch all of those different departments in different ways and getting to work with them on the back end and all of the building and creating and also the business side of things as well. So I got the best of both worlds in that job. But as time went on, I was afforded the opportunity to work on several of the fundraising galas that the Theater Center put on, which was amazing for me because I got to see the technical side of theater used in a different way. And I actually ended up falling in love with events, which is how I then decided to eventually leave the Theater Center to go out on my own to do the technical side of events instead of theater.
Wow, Stephanie. How long ago was that?
Just over 2 years at this point.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. So for the last 2 years, I've been working to grow myself as an event professional. I've been very diligent in keeping up with the trends and technologies that have come out because, as we all know, as millennials, technology changes every day. So the study of all of the different technologies in theater and effects and programming and all of that changes just as rapidly as our
I agree
iPhones
with you.
do.
I think you definitely in this industry have a competitive advantage since you are a millennial.
Yeah, I think I do a little bit knowing that, we've grown up with ever-changing technology. Our phones change faster than our fashion does sometimes. So it's really sort of ingrained in our person to expect change and to adapt to change quickly. So I think I do have that advantage in my industry that it's very easy for me to learn a new technology when it comes out, a new programming, a new piece of equipment. It's pretty easy to pick up quickly for me. So that's sort of been my journey the last couple of years. And at the beginning of 2015, I pulled the trigger and opened Knockout Productions, and I've been producing events and assisting on events since. So it's been a lot of fun.
Fantastic. So tell us how to hire you.
You can give me a call or email, and I will chat with you all day about what event you want to do.
Give us a little bit of advice. So someone who's wanting to plan an event and they're thinking, I'll just take care of it with the hotel person that will coordinate everything. Why would they choose to have someone like you come in and take over instead of just rely on the hotel event planner?
Sure. I will say for the hotel event planners and coordinators, they're really great resources. They can be tapped for so many things. They know their venues inside and out. But what they don't know is the client. They don't know you. They are advocating for their hotel, their business, which is as it should be. But as a client of the hotel, especially if you don't know the event world, you don't know the technology world, you don't know the backstage world, if you don't know how to speak that language, you don't necessarily know how to ask for what you want in the most efficient way. Also, with events, a lot of times my clients, the people throwing the event, have 800 other things on their mind. They need to make sure that guests are happy. They need to make sure that programming is good. They're worried about different people and different things going on, entertainment, and and it's their event. They want to enjoy it as well. So my job is really to make sure that they can do all of the things that they want, enjoy their people, enjoy their event without really worrying about all of the other facets and the facets that are really specific to the overall success of an event. So it's really good for an event thrower or one of my clients to have someone like me to be able to bridge that gap.
I can tell how passionate you are about it, Stephanie Jaco. Stephanie's with knockoutproductions.com. And we have just 1 minute left. Can either of you give a little advice to someone that wants to go out and be an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. One of the biggest and most important pieces of advice I can give is you must take the positive away from whatever job you leave. When I left my most important job, I didn't badmouth anybody. And what that did was, in the future, it allowed me to think positively, to learn from my negative aspects, and more importantly, it is a small business world, and they will hear you talking about them.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. And Jeff will be back next weekend. And I really appreciate everyone who listened today to the Jeff Crilley Show. My name is Sarah Crilley, and I always love the opportunity to step in for my dad. We'll see you next weekend on the Jeff Crilley Show.